Welcome back, joined here by Sierra, Patricia. So you're part of the OSBA, play with
Yes,
Capital Courts Academy.
yes.
Coach Fab, how do you think she's helped really shape your career and just help you develop as a player to really perform in these big settings?
Um, it was actually my first year at Capital Courts last year. I'm actually from Toronto. I when I first came there, I was a really shy, quiet girl, and I think she really helped me get out of my comfort zone and really into my role as a point guard, especially. She really helped me like develop my skills, especially my defense, I would say. Um, yeah, and she really helped with my confidence and just like improving my skills.
Amazing.
You got to play for the Philippines, right?
Yes.
What was that experience like, and what were some of the takeaways from playing on an international stage?
That was a great experience. I think just playing against so many like different countries, especially because it is in Asia. I've never been to the Philippines before that actually, and just seeing that type of culture and representing my national country, it was a really great experience to honor that.
Now you're here in training camp, getting ramped up to go to Newfoundland for the Nationals. What's the key message from the coaching staff that needs to be focused on here that you can bring to Newfoundland to get off on the best start when you get that tournament next week?
I think Coach Christine, she really she really wants us to go in there just have like a dog mentality. She really just wants to go out there and we're obviously from Toronto, and everyone or Ontario, and everyone's wants to come at us. So I think just going there, just giving us our all, and just leaving it out there, and just focus really on winning.
And how do you view a day like today where you kind of get a break from the basketball practice? You get to do some fun stuff here and develop some more chemistry off the court. How do you view a day like today in terms of the importance of getting that chemistry and getting comfortable with each other and having fun so that it's not all serious in order to kind of go into the next week feeling a little bit more relaxed?
I think this is a really great opportunity for us to all just get together, just have a little fun, because these past few days we've obviously just been training, working really hard on the court, and just being able to like just go off the court and just like hang out with each other. I think it's really great for the team to like get together, and I think it will translate on to the court, and I think you'll probably see like chemistry on the court.
One quick one. We just saw you guys hanging out with Andrew Wiggins in the big gym. What was that like for you?
That was great. I never see him up close. All of us were like, he's taller than expected. I think we were all just like almost like fangirling over
Of
him.
course. I was fangirling too.
Me
Yeah.
too. And is there obviously you've got so much talent on this team. How did you find trying to find your role on this team and how you can contribute the most?
There's so many great players here, and I think I just really focused on my defense. I think that's something I do bring to this team. It's something I guess like one of my strengths, I would
Yeah.
say. Especially me, I'm a pretty long guard, so I just focus on my defense. It's something that I can control, and I bring it like all the time.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining us. Good luck in Newfoundland. And stick with us. We've got more Team Ontario interviews from the Media Day here today, sponsored by the Ontario Dairy Farmers. Welcome back. We're with Juliana Rogers. So, you know what it's like to win. You were part of that Markham Prep U19 championship team. So, from your winnings in the past, what's something that you definitely know you need to do for yourself to be in the best space to go and produce those high quality games?
I think for me, it's just kind of about doing a lot of different things for my team. I try to rebound, play good defense, like hit open shots and find my teammates. So I think I'm kind of like an all around player. So for me, I just try to focus on like just doing what my team needs in the moment, and that leads to success.
Yeah.
What do you remember about last year's tournament? You were a first team All Star on that U15 team, brought up here now to the U17 team. What do you remember from that experience, and what can you bring to these girls in order to get them ready for what lies ahead in Newfoundland?
Well, it was definitely a really fun experience. I had a lot of fun at that tournament. I think, well, a couple of my teammates are the same teammates, so obviously they know what the tournament is like as well. I think the biggest thing is just kind of being ready and not really taking any team for granted, or really like you kind of just have to know that every team is going to come out to get us because we're Ontario. And so I think just being prepared and knowing that like we need to bring our A game to every game and not like underestimate teams.
You have a pretty unique skill. You're a lefty, right?
Yes.
And not a lot of girls at this age know the strength of a lefty. Do you find that you're guarded differently at all, or do you have an advantage being a lefty when the majority of the players your age are right-handed?
I think yes, definitely. If they don't scout it, then yes, it's easier because most teams try to force you left. It's harder in practice here though because everybody knows. But yeah, definitely against different teams when they don't know, then it's an advantage for sure.
The biggest message that we've got from both teams so far today is the importance of defense. Who on this team is proving to be one of the defensive leaders so far through training camp, or maybe even through the history of playing together?
I think we definitely have a lot. Like we're really focusing on like our team defense, so I think that's a big key for us. And we have a lot of people who are doing a really good job at it. I think I can shout out like Danny, who's doing a really great job. Let me take a look. Same with like Carlita. Mildred does a really good job of guarding the post. Yeah, I think really our team defense overall is really well, but those are a couple, or is really good. But those are a couple people that I can like point out.
And what's the biggest message from the coaches right now going into nationals?
It's just to stay focused on our goals. We created a whole goal sheet of like points that we want to get and what we want to limit the other teams to. So big focuses for us are like transition, our defense, and rebounding because we're quite a big team. So I think just like sticking to our goals is what our coaches are focusing on.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much for joining us. Good luck at nationals. And stick with us. We've got more interviews coming up from the Ontario Media Day presented by the Dairy Farmers of Ontario. Welcome back, everyone. We're here with Ayla Corail. So, Ayla, you played on Orangeville Prep throughout the season. What was the biggest takeaway that you learned throughout the year, competition-wise, that you can bring into nationals?
Right. I would say probably just to not underestimate anyone. Like, even if they're supposedly not as good as a team, you can't like take it for granted. You have to come in and play like how you would play against the top teams in the league.
Yeah, and you're going to be running into your teammate Cam McMaster.
Yeah.
She's with Alberta. How do you think that's going to go? Have you guys chatted about it? What's going on with that?
I think it's gonna be really fun. She hasn't told us too much because we're kind of like the opposing team.
Yeah.
But I think it's gonna be fun to play against a teammate. Hopefully we can have a good game and hopefully we can get that dub.
You've played against a lot of elite level competition, BioSteel, all Canadian participant. What did going through those types of tournaments and games do for you as an individual player and allow you to see the competition that kind of you're going to be up against?
Right. It kind of just shows you like what you need to do to be at that level, what you kind of have to do differently than everyone else because you're playing with everyone who's kind of at the same level right now, but it shows you what you can do differently to separate yourself.
Early on in this training camp, what's something that stands out to you about this team assembled for this year's tournament?
I would say like our connection. I think it's really like we're really coming together throughout. We've been together throughout the last training camps, but this one in particular, we're kind of like really combining as a team.
And you played last summer in U15. What was your biggest takeaway for yourself personally that you kind of want to improve on from last year?
I would just say like controlling the pace of the game, like knowing when to push, knowing when to slow down. Yeah, just having that control as a point guard.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much
No
for
problem.
joining
Thank
us.
you
Good
so
luck.
much.
And stick with us. We'll be right back with some more Team Ontario interviews from Media Day presented by the Dairy Farmers of Ontario.
Thank you.
Welcome back, everyone. We're joined here with KK Santa Maria. So you played last year in U15. You won that Hazel Minor Award, a massive award just for displaying excellence at that level. What was your biggest takeaway? Because you clearly had a very strong nationals run. And what's something you kind of want to mimic from last year and something you kind of want to tweak a little bit?
Yeah, definitely nationals last year was one of my best years. I had so much fun with the team on and off the court. Winning the Hazel Minor Award is just a reminder to represent where I come from with pride and to play for my Ys like super hard every time. Something that I would keep the same this year would definitely be my energy and just staying positive no matter what the score is. And something I would tweak is the end goal. Like we definitely all want to win that championship. We all have the same goal in mind, so just applying that on the court and making sure we get that win.
Go Bulldogs.
Yes.
Talk to me a little bit about your older sister and kind of the advice that she gives you going through a tournament like this.
Yeah, she played in the Canada Games. She played in the Nationals. She gives me a lot of advice. She's my biggest role model. I look up to her, whether that's in the classroom or on the basketball court. Some advice she gives me is definitely on defense. That's one of my big things I want to work on this summer. And then she also gives me like leadership advice because she's a pure point guard, and I just want to really take after that.
What is something that stands out to you spending this time amongst this team as one of its strengths going into next week?
One of our strengths are definitely our competitive level. Like we're super competitive. In practices, we always argue about the score and we always go at each other. So I think that's great. Especially since we're doing it to each other, we're gonna definitely do it to like the other teams. So yeah, I'm super excited.
So if practices are that intense, what's it like to go through a fun day like today and just kind of have the weight off your shoulders and just have a little bit of fun?
Yeah, our team is super connected. We build relationships that like help our chemistry on the court. So having this like media day is fun to also know like we're more than basketball players. We're also people too. So yeah.
And obviously, you go to Crestwood with the OSBA, a very difficult school, but they string together a lot of wins, have that level of excellence. What's something you can do to maintain the discipline when you guys are winning numerous games in a row to not kind of get any complacentness in there?
Yeah, Crestwood, it's an amazing program. The coach Marlo Davis, he's an amazing coach, and he brings the best out of everybody. One thing is to know like we're not satisfied with the wins, and to just keep our level of keep our level of compete high and keep going for like the next thing.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining us. Good luck with everything and safe travels. Stick with us. We're going to have more interviews from the Team Ontario Media Day presented by the Dairy Farmers of Ontario. Welcome back. We're here with Carletta and Scarlet. You girls both play at King's Christian College, and you also were both on the national team last year. How special is it to get to play with each other on so many different levels?
It's good. It's really cool. Like we've been bonding for a while and like we know each other really well. We know each other's game really well, so it's like very easier.
I'm really excited because Carlita is a great teammate. We've been playing for each other for the past 2 years now, and I've just got to know a lot about her, and it's just been really fun.
And you two play together, but there's so many other girls on different OSBA teams. How is it like competing against these girls for a whole season and then coming together to play together?
Um, it's good, but it's also hard at the same time. It's kind of like sometimes we have to like put away the feelings that like
Yeah.
we had during the season against them, and then we're also like different playing styles while we're here, so kind of adjusting to that. But like off the court, we're all friends, so like it's pretty easy.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's different because you're used to playing against them and having a different mindset, but playing with them is actually you get to like learn a lot more and you get to make new friends, so it's really fun. Yeah.
What's it like taking a break from the hard training and having a little bit of fun on media day? What is that like for creating chemistry?
It's great. It's fun. It's definitely like gives our bodies like time to rest and it's good. And then just like more getting to know each other. We've been talking a lot about like connecting and confidence. So just like we're here having fun, making TikToks together, smiling. It's good. It's fun.
Yeah, everyone starts like we hang out together, not more separate groups or in the practice mindset. So it's really fun. People are making TikToks, we're hanging out, we're making jokes, and it just brings everyone closer as a group.
Chemistry is something that's been talked a lot about as being a strength of this team. What's something that maybe needs a little bit more attention in this ramp up to Newfoundland next week?
Ooh, that's good. I would say maybe like our focus in a way just because like I think we have a pretty good like balance of like competing and then like there's time for fun and stuff, but we could also just like work on that a bit more too. And now like kind of getting in the mindset, we're so used to playing against each other at practice, realizing that like not all the other teams are going to be like that. So yeah.
I kind of say the same thing and how like the focus a little bit and just like being one as a group because I feel like a little bit we're sometimes you can just think that we're having like a lot of fun, but like everyone's coming for Ontario, so we just need to like focus in and try and compete really hard and like get to where we need to be to win.
Everyone is coming for Ontario. You know, the level of excellence for Team Ontario is always talked about, multiple medals over multiple years. How much is that the driving force this training camp, and what's the message coming down from the head coaches in terms of what it takes to get a medal?
Um, yeah, like our coaches are always telling us like that again, people are going to be coming for us, so it's going to take an extra level of focus, like grit, like a dog mentality, something we talk about a lot. That we just need to come out like with 110% every game, every second, like make teams like afraid and scared of us because they're already coming for us and make them like regret thinking that.
Yeah, I'd say the same thing because I know a few of us were on the U15 team last year and we came third and we didn't win in the semis. So I know that's probably an extra motivation for a couple of us to work extra hard and try and win gold, and just everyone else as well because the U17s didn't win gold last year. So it'd be pretty great if we can win it this year.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys so much for joining us. Good luck in Newfoundland. Safe travels. And stick with us. We've got more Team Ontario Media Day interviews coming, presented by the Dairy Farmers of Ontario. Welcome back, everyone. We're here with Believe Chibangu. Believe, you've had quite the year. We know you have 6 offers from post-secondaries. You're an all-Canadian. You had a great OSBA season. What's something you can offer to this team leadership-wise or advice-wise to kind of guide them?
To be honest, it's just you have to be comfortable being different. I feel like that's something that's very important and people are embarrassed of or scared of, like just being different. And that's something that I embody and I'm pretty proud of. Like being a leader, the vocal leader, the loudest person on the court, like that stands out and that's something that helps.
And is there something you specifically, playing-wise, want to work on leading up to nationals?
Um, yeah, I mean just offensive game overall, perfect my shooting and then handles as well. Just add that into yeah.
Awesome.
We're talking to everybody, and the constant message is the amount of chemistry this team has. And what contributes to that chemistry? Is it just the playing together? Is it the time off the court? What do you find are the valuable parts of that?
I feel like it's just we're always together and it's the time that we spend together. Off the court we're pretty cool people with each other, like we hang out. And on the court we just stick like glue, so that just helps in the chemistry.
We're hearing that some of the practice exhibition games get pretty heated, and there's a good amount of energy there. How does that contribute to maybe what you're going to be doing on the court in Newfoundland? How much of that like aggressiveness towards each other will help and benefit you guys as a team when you get to Newfoundland?
I mean, being aggressive with each other helps us like be aggressive with other people. So I feel like whatever we do right now is important and will translate like into the game. And I feel like if we're being aggressive now, we will be aggressive into the game. And if we're soft now, it's going to lead into the game. So I feel like what we do now, we should do it with a purpose so that into the game it translates properly.
And going through this training camp, it's a lot of like basketball practices, 2-a-days. Today you get the morning off, you have a little fun with the team. What's that like in order to break, the regime of a practice, eat, sleep, practice, practice?
I mean, like it gets our heads like, away from, oh my gosh, we have to go to practice. You know what I mean? Like have a little fun, relax, take pictures, look great to be honest. And like, yeah, so yeah.
We hear a lot from the other girls about the dog mentality, and that's kind of the message on this team. Do you find that that really easily aligns with your regular style of playing?
Yeah, I mean, being a dog is being okay with being different. And as I said, like I love being different.
Yeah.
I love being the loudest person on the court. I love being there for my teammates, cheering them on. I could get side eyes all like people want. I don't care. Like I'm gonna scream, I'm gonna yell, and I'm just gonna be there for my team.
Awesome.
Just one last one here. What's the importance of having teammates that are the best cheerleaders, regardless of how much playing time they get? And how important is it to cheer each other on throughout the entirety of this experience from training camp to the final game that you guys get to play in Newfoundland?
I mean, cheering each other on just shows how connected we are, and it helps because it's like if I get a turnover, I know my team's gonna be there and they're gonna be like, okay, it's okay, on to the next. And it's not gonna be like what you just made a mistake and stuff like that. So I just feel like being together and like cheering each other on just shows support and it shows how we work together like glue and yeah. So.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining us. Good luck and safe travels. Stick with us. We've got more interviews coming up from the Team Ontario Media Day presented by the Dairy Farmers of Ontario. Welcome back, everyone. We're here with Danny and Maya. Is there anything specific for your own style of play that you want to work on? Kind of trying anything out with this group of girls?
Yeah, I think I want to get better at my playmaking
Mhm.
and my shooting.
Yeah, me as well. I think my decision making has gotten better since I've been here, and I wanted to continue to improve that as well as my shooting too.
And what's it like going through a day like today where it's not as rigorous in terms of practice and focusing, and you get to have a little bit more fun, play some games, take some really cool shots, have a conversation kind of about the team, but not really focus on practicing and getting that little bit of a break?
It's definitely a lot of fun. I think it's bringing us together bonding wise. We're all having fun taking pictures. I know everybody loves that, so.
And is there any sort of pregame rituals you guys can carry on into Newfoundland that you do here on the regular?
I think just staying together constantly.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys so much for joining us. Stick with us. We've got more Team Ontario interviews coming up, presented by the Dairy Farmers of Ontario. Welcome back. I'm here with Megan Hollingsworth. So you averaged 10 points per game this season with Capital Courts Academy. Is that something you're kind of prioritizing during the training camp and being on this roster, the scoring aspect?
Oh yeah, for sure. My goal is definitely to be one of the top scorers on the team. And I think that's sort of a responsibility I have, especially since at the mini camps, that's what I was doing. So yeah, I'm bringing that.
Awesome. And how are you finding adjusting to this team?
I find it good. Like it's fun. Everyone's very supportive, so I find it very easy.
Awesome.
Kia Nurse, elite participant or player, who's somebody maybe you look up to aside from Kia in terms of the game of basketball and the journey that you're trying to put yourself on to get to the next level?
I would definitely say my past teammates from Capital Courts, like Katrina Garvey, Cass Prosper, Cholcott, like they're definitely like my biggest inspirations, especially playing with them before.
And what's the key message from the coaching staff in this training camp that this team needs to focus on in order to get the result that they want in Newfoundland?
It's definitely the hard work aspect, like especially on defense, we have to be dogs. That's what we were talking about yesterday. So
we've heard that a couple of times today, the dog mentality, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Is there any sort of pregame warm-up or ritual that you can do to really get into that mentality, or is it kind of something you can just hop into easily?
I definitely hop into it, but listening to music helps me a lot. So.
And what do you listen to?
Just rap music, anything.
We were both fangirling in the big gym when Andrew Wiggins was there taking photos, did the alley-oop and that kind of stuff. What was that moment like for you?
It was really cool. I mean, like getting that opportunity being here is just really special, and I'm very appreciative of that.
And how are you finding the coaching style here as compared to Capital Courts?
I think it's very similar in terms of like the expectations and the hard work ethic. So yeah, I'm adjusting well to it.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining us. Enjoy the week of basketball. It's going to be so much fun in Newfoundland. And stick with us. We've got more Team Ontario interviews coming from the Media Day presented by the Dairy Farmers of Ontario. Welcome back. We're joined here with Mildred. Mildred, you're an extremely dominant player in the paint. So when you get into these kind of games and seeing the different teams, how quickly does it take you to adjust to their players in the paint?
I think it's really easy. Well, if I read the defense pretty well and I see like how they're playing me, like if they're playing me for a shot or if they're playing me to attack, and then also I'm looking for my shooters on the outside as well if I can't make a move by myself.
There's obviously the coaching staff is obviously setting expectations for the team. What are they telling you specifically and how you can impact the games when you get to Newfoundland?
I think the number one thing Coach Christine and Coach Steps have told me so far is rebounding. Like I'm really athletic, so I need to make sure on both sides of the glass that I'm getting boards so I can put them back up or get more possessions for my team.
And as of playing in the paint, obviously a lot of contact. And how is it going through a game where there is contact, maybe the refs make some calls, maybe they don't, and you just have to keep playing? How do you approach that mentally?
I think it starts, definitely starts with your mindset. I mean, they always talk about the next play mentality, moving on to the next thing, not thinking about it. And like, if I get blocked or something, going back on defense and doing the same exact thing to come back and hopefully finish this time.
We've talked a lot about what the team's strength is. Everybody's saying chemistry seems to be the biggest word being thrown around. What's one aspect of the team that needs to be focused on for the rest of the week so that you're ready to hit the ground running in Newfoundland next week?
I think it's just like knowing our personnel. Like we know our shooters, we know our slashers and stuff like that. So when we're running in transition, we know, if I have if I'm a big and I'm running with a guard, I'm rim running. But if I have shooters, then I'm looking to kick out. So I think knowing our team personnel is very important.
When you're warming up before these games, what's something that you definitely focus on?
Definitely finishing. Like mic in drills type of stuff. Also, like we do a lot of elbow shooting to get
Mhm.
shots up. Free throws are really important for our team as well. We set like goals and stuff in our team meeting so far, so we're looking to make those.
Awesome. And what are you hoping to get out of this entire experience?
Gold medal.
Yep. We were hoping to hear that. So thank you so much for
Thank
joining us. Good
you.
luck and safe travels.
Thank you.
Stick with us. We've got more Team Ontario Media Day interviews coming up, presented by the Dairy Farmers of Ontario. Hey everyone, we're joined here with Sydney Scrobot. So you're on that Kia Nurse team. What has that really done for you to help develop you as a player?
Yeah, AAU as a whole has developed me like so much. Like I get to play against like probably some of the best girls in the country. So yeah, I feel like that competition has improved me a lot as a player over the last like 2 years. So yeah.
Has that traveling with that team really kind of prepared you for traveling to Newfoundland for the Nationals?
Yeah, I would say it's prepared me a lot. Like I haven't traveled a lot before I started getting to like travel with AAU and stuff, and like, um, I don't know, like, it definitely gets me ready for like to be prepared to like play over in Newfoundland.
Mhm.
I've never been there before, so yeah.
How would you describe your game, and what aspects do you think are going to be the biggest contributing factors to this team in getting a medal this year?
Yeah, I would say offensively, like I'm a shooter and I take it to the basket, so I think that versatility can help my team as a whole. And I'm pretty tall and long, so on defense I should be helpful in like around in the paint out because I can guard lots of different players.
The biggest word we're hearing thrown around in terms of the strength of this team is chemistry and
Yeah.
camaraderie. Maybe what's something that the team needs to work on to have the best foundation for success when you get out to Newfoundland?
I would say just like probably building our chemistry more, even like because I know lots of these girls from Kia Nurse already, but like some girls are from other AAU programs, so like getting to know them better and just improving our team as a whole. So we should be good.
And what's it like taking a break from training to come and have a little fun on a day like today?
Yeah, it's super fun to switch it up because we've just been playing basketball and basically eating. So, yeah, it's nice. It's a good change.
And so obviously all the best talent in Ontario is in this room right now. How was it kind of the first day of practice and establishing your role on the team?
Yeah, it's definitely a different environment to get used to, but it's all good. Like I like the challenge, and it's improving me as a player. So
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining us. Safe travels to
Thank you.
Newfoundland. Stick with us. We've got more Team Ontario Media Day interviews coming, presented by the Dairy Farmers of Ontario. Welcome back. We're here with Reese and Kiyomi. So obviously a big week coming up, a lot of training camp. What have you guys been doing to kind of prepare yourself in the best way possible, like mentally and physically?
Well, I feel like it's just we're trying to get into that mindset
Mhm.
of like working as hard as we can, especially in the preparation of these games.
Yeah.
So and we're trying to just have fun with it, get to know each other on more of a personal level because it helps us gel better on the court. So yeah.
Yeah, we talked a lot about like unity this week and our identity as a team, and it's been really important to us, like rebounding and defense, stuff like that.
Do you guys have a lot of prior experience with the other girls on the team, or is it kind of a new team for you guys?
Well, some I've known for a while now, but like for the most part, a lot of the new girls are new to
Mhm.
me. So it's really nice to get to know new people and make more friends, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, same. Like on high school teams, like we used to
Yeah.
play together, but not anymore.
Yeah.
What's it like having a break from all the rigmarole of the serious training and the focusing on what the team needs to do to have a little bit of fun here at Media Day? What's that like?
I think it's really like important because you get to see everyone's like personalities and they're like you get better outside of the court.
And for me, I just feel like it's more of a break. Like I feel like we get to come here, get away from like all the noise, like the city, because it's been quiet here, and like we just have a lot more time to focus on getting to know each other and just building our team to be great. So yeah.
A lot of the girls talk about part of the recipe of being great is a dog mentality. What does that mean to each of you specifically?
Yeah, I think that it just means like hustling after every single play, going full out for everything. Hard.
To me, I just feel like it has a lot to do with willpower, building our work ethic, and I feel like if everybody on the team has a dog mentality, then it'll help us be successful and win for our games next week.
And then for each of you, what's the one thing that you're looking most forward to contributing to this team in order to get a medal when you get to Newfoundland? Could be the play on the court, could be the energy and effort you have on the bench.
I feel like for me, it's gonna be to focus on uplifting my teammates. I know that a lot of us are
are young and doing our best and working hard. And I just feel like it is hard when we are hard on ourselves, but like I want to bring that energy to the team to reassure my teammates that we're going to be good, we're going to be okay, and we're going to win. So, yeah.
Yeah, I feel like definitely supporting and encouraging all my teammates, stuff like that.
Yeah.
And this coaching style, is it a style that you guys are used to, or is it kind of an adjustment to that as well?
I feel like it's an adjustment, but I feel like though everything is new, I think I'm really like appreciating their style and like getting to know it. I really do enjoy it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a little bit new, but I really enjoy Christine's style of coaching.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys so much. Good luck in Newfoundland and safe travels.
Thank you so
Stick
much.
with us. We've got more Team Ontario Media Day interviews coming up, presented by the Dairy Farmers of Ontario. Welcome back, everyone. We're here with Coach Christine. So, when crafting this roster, and you are familiar with what it takes to medal at this nationals, because you were the coach last year as well. But when crafting this specific team, was there one like quality or trait that you were specifically looking for?
I was looking for that, as what we say now, like that dog mentality.
Yeah, we've heard that a lot.
And I know I'm like, it's like resonating with them now because I say it a lot. And it's like, who has that drive? Like, who has what it takes to do what needs to be done? Like, grab the 50-50 balls, box out, do the little dirty things, like jump outside to get it before it goes out of bounds. So it's just those little intangible things that don't come up on the stat sheet that I'm trying to like show them that those things are glaring and we see it and it makes a big difference in games. So
is there
not
someone
surprised.
on the team right now that's kind of like leading the way with that dog mentality, kind of leading by example?
I think we're getting that from a few different players. So like we're definitely seeing it from Believe. We're seeing it from Danielle London on defense for sure. Carlita showing out on defense as well. And it's just those little things. Like George is asking really good questions because like I know it's coming. I know it's coming. So I'm seeing it from quite a few players right now.
Crazy.
Your players have talked about the intensity of the practices. Is that something that you've established or they brought to these practices?
A little bit of both.
Yeah.
A little bit of both. So there's one thing that we talk about is like I'm not going to coach your energy, your effort, or your communication because these are all things that you can control. And these are all things that great players do, right? So when you come in and there's no energy and there's no effort and there's no communication, I can't do that for you. Right. And these are the things, though, again, like I spoke about intangible things on the court that matter. And I think they bought into that. So when it comes to those things, I don't have to coach it anymore.
Fair. When looking at what it takes to medal at a tournament like this, obviously not all the players are going to get all of the court time that they want. But what's your sense in terms of their approach to being the best teammate that they can be from top to bottom, whether it's the first person that's going to start your game or your last substitute?
I think they kind of understand, and I explained it to them that 5 games in 5 days, like everybody's gonna play, right? It's hard to play, let's say 2 people like 30 minutes a game over the span of 5 days. Like that creates burnout, and that's also my job to protect the players from themselves because if it was up to them, they'd play 40 minutes every game, right? So it's just kind of finding that balance of okay, yeah, this is a game where we can rest a little bit, but this is a game where we need to push, and they've kind of like bought into it with the idea that, you know what, I understand that I'm good enough to be here and coach believes in me to be here. And then playing time is going to be fair and everybody's going to be treated fairly.
Everybody seems to be on the same page in terms of this team's strength currently, which is its chemistry, its cohesion, the fact that they've been able to play together for some time, the most of them anyway. What's the one aspect of this team's game that needs focus on here this week so that you have the best chance of hitting the ground running when you get to Newfoundland?
I just think it's consistency, right? And I think that's with anybody. Like sometimes you come in and you're tired. And I get it. We've been here, we've been practicing 2 days and people are tired. But I told them discipline is doing the things that you don't want to do, but still coming out and doing it, right? So I think they're finding that discipline. And as long as we can carry that over the course of 5 days, I think that will be great. I know that will be great.
And how can you kind of warn them about the competition on the other side for those of them who haven't seen it yet?
I told them that we have to go in with that underdog mentality and we have to play like we have something to prove every game. So the expectation is to win, Yeah, but the expectation also is no team out there is going to make it easy for us. No team out there is going to roll over and let Ontario win. So a lot of our players come from like formidable schools, right, where they see competition like regularly. So I don't think it's unfamiliar territory with them.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining us. Good luck and safe travels. Stick with us. We've got more Team Ontario interviews coming from the Media Day presented by the Dairy Farmers of Ontario. Welcome back. We're here with Georgia. Georgia, this season you averaged 7 rebounds a game. That's a great number. Is that what you're definitely looking to contribute the most to this nationals team?
Oh yeah, for sure. And honestly, like maybe even more than 7 rebounds as a post. I think it's really important to have that presence inside the paint, offense and defensively. So, yeah, 7 or more rebounds a game is definitely my goal for sure.
What's kind of the one thing that you find is a strength of this team early on through training camp? And I guess the fact that some of these players have played together before, but the strength of this team that can help carry them to a title run when you get to Newfoundland.
Yeah, I think our defensive pressure is unmatched. Honestly, we can play full court. We're so athletic. All of our bigs are paint to paint bigs. Like we can all run. So just I think our transition and our pressure on defense is really what is going to help us excel and win that gold in Newfoundland.
And can you tell me about what your perspective is on wearing Team Ontario across your chest, so knowing that that's a target on the back? It's such an elite program, right? And what you expect the level of competition to be like when teams are coming up against Ontario.
Yeah, I mean, playing Team Ontario, it's a big deal. We have the biggest population, so definitely we have more kids to pick from for sure, and it means more. I feel like it has more kind of a deeper meaning to it. All these girls, we know them. We all play together at some way or another, so it's really great. And having that target on our back is honestly like a little chip on our shoulder. I think it's actually really great to have, knowing that everybody wants to beat us and just ensuring that we're the ones who come out with the gold.
And what's it like breaking up the rigorous training schedule with a fun kind of morning like this where, you're taking pictures, you're having these fun conversations, you see Andrew Wiggins in the big gym. What's that like?
It took us all by surprise. We weren't expecting to see Andrew Wiggins this morning, so that was really, really cool. But honestly, like everybody here is great. The training is one of the best. We're training 4 hours a day, and it's tiring, but we're just all having so much fun, and it doesn't really seem like you're working that hard. Well, we are working hard, but it's like you're with your friends, you're training, you're doing what you love, so it's easy. Yeah.
And we've heard a lot about that dog mentality today, and then your
Yes.
coach also just saying coming in with a slight underdog mentality. Is that something that kind of motivates you as well as the dog mentality being the underdog?
Oh, for sure. I think every younger sibling can relate to that. I can speak for myself. Being an underdog is what motivates me the most. Trying to be better than who's expected to win is always, I don't know, really motivates me. It makes me excited. It makes me want to prove people wrong. And I think it's just really important to be the one that's always going for the loose balls and being that dog that's getting on that floor, getting up in people's space and making them uncomfortable on the court. So I think that's really important.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining us. Good luck and safe travels.
Thank you.
Stick with us. We've got one more Team Ontario Media Day interview after this, presented by the Dairy Farmers of Ontario. Welcome back. We're here with Olivia Tomlin. So, Olivia, you are a 2023 Jewel Prep champion, so you know what it takes to win. What's something you can kind of share to the others, something that you've maybe learned in your past about going to a big competition like this?
I think like it's mostly just like the focus and the drive and like wanting to win. It's gonna be like really important for us to make sure we can
want it more than everybody else.
Yeah.
A lot of conversation with the head coach has been about focus needed on the rest of training camp in order to have the best foot forward when you get to Newfoundland. And this team's talked a lot about its chemistry and the chemistry that it already has. So what's the area of focus for the next 4 days of training camp in order to be the best prepared you can be?
I think just like focusing on keeping our like team connection, like it's pretty good. So like keeping it in like intact will be pretty important. And then also like just making sure we're what's the word? Disciplined and making sure we can just execute and make sure that we're doing what we need to.
How does it feel going through a day like today, which is a break in, the 2-a-days, the 4-hour practices, to have a little fun, take some photos, and connect on a different level with your teammates?
I think it's something that we needed, like just to connect together and like get to know each other outside of basketball, and just like have fun like outside of basketball. Like obviously basketball's fun, but once in a while you need like a little bit of something.
And lastly, we talked to everybody about kind of their individual, what they're looking forward to contributing specifically from themselves for a win in Newfoundland. Some people have said just being the best teammate they can be. Some people talked about their scoring. What's the thing that you're looking forward to most bringing to this team in order to get that medal?
I'd say defense. Like I'm more of a defensive player, so being able to like pressure, make sure that I'm like disrupting what they are doing so that they don't like can't really like just pressuring them, and also being a good teammate, helping everyone out, making sure everyone is feeling good about what's going on.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining us, Olivia. Good luck and safe travels to everyone. These girls are heading to Newfoundland coming up very soon. You can watch all of their games on the Canada Basketball YouTube. This has been the end of the Team Ontario Media Day presented by the Dairy Farmers of Ontario. I'm Haley. That was JJ, and thank you guys for joining us.